All right, everyone, we have a lot to go over today, and it's kind of insane the amount of stories we have going on. There are some live streamers, some content creators who have partnered with Nintendo to live stream Metroid Prime 4 today. So that's one of our lead headline stories. We have some news on how well the Nintendo Switch 2 has been selling over the last couple of weeks, and spoiler warning, so well it's actually sold out in some instances, which is not something I actually expected, believe it or not. We have some other stuff going on with Mario Kart World update. There was an update to Mario Kart World and it changed a bunch of things, but we want to focus on the big change that I think is going to make people most excited and does show Nintendo is actually listening to their fans. Also, it does seem that a Chrono Trigger remake is actually happening this time. Kind of weird how we're finding out about it. It's like they want to tell us, but the corporate heads are kind of like, shut up, don't say anything, and yet they so desperately want to say something. So we'll get into that. Before we dive in, though, I want to remind you, we are giving away 3 copies of Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. You can go ahead, this is Switch 2 edition. You can go ahead and head down to the link in the pinned comment or the description to enter. We're also on our road to 170,000 subscribers. No, I'm not under a guise that we're somehow going to hit that by the end of the month, but it would be cool to have that as something that we end up hitting in early 2026. And it starts now by getting to 161,000. So thank you guys so much for being here. Let's dive into this first story. As posted by Nintendo of America, it says, join us for some Metroid Prime 4 Beyond live streams. Again, some of these streams might already be happening. Select YouTube and Twitch streamers will be suiting up today and taking the planet Vuros to give a first-hand look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And again, we knew this was happening in Canada. Now they announced it today in the United States. We're seeing John, Awesome, Noisy Butters, Tens, Red Falcon, and Grims. I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know like any of these content creators, but I'm sure they're really popular and really big. It could just be that I don't really watch live streamers, and they clearly are focusing on live streamers here. So there you go. Take that for what you will. I think that's interesting. You know what's also interesting? How about a Japanese survey? Japanese survey shows Nintendo as the top game dev college grads are interested in working for. Now, this is in Japan, of course. You're seeing Nintendo at number 4. It's number 1 for men, but number 21 for women. 21st is Bandai Namco, which is number 10 for men. 24th is Konami, which is number 6 for men. Sega is number 15 for men. 39th is Capcom, which is number 11 for men, and then we don't get any rankings for the next two. 110 is Sony Interactive Entertainment, which is the PlayStation division, and then 125th is Square Enix. Nintendo is the only company ranked in terms of both men and women overall. That's also interesting as well to note that even women have this as a top 25 career choice for them to work at Nintendo. So I think this is really interesting. The information comes from Gakujo Company Limited. Again, I suck at pronouncing things. The responses were received from 15,492 third-year university students and first-year graduate students who are scheduled to graduate in March of 2027. So a pretty large sample size, at least, from some Japanese universities. So again, not really surprised there. Nintendo is one of the top choices and the top video game choice, and one of the top choices for men and women. I think that is, notable. You know what's also notable? How about the fact that apparently Donkey Kong Bananza was a key driver this holiday season? That's pretty interesting. So analytics firm says Switch 2 and Donkey Kong Bananza are key drivers. So you go down here and they show Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Madden NFL 26, NBA 26, Call of Duty, Black Ops 7 as well being big movers. This is interesting because this report comes from Adobe Analytics. And Adobe Analytics has this interesting way of tracking stuff. And yes, we're talking about the same Adobe, like Photoshop, a Premiere. We're talking about that Adobe. And they do this every year where they're tracking Black Friday stuff. They got the mobile spend, total season spend. It's kind of interesting. They work with, I guess they do work with a lot of companies because of their software. So they're able to maybe get some of these details here. So you can see the consumer spend, the revenue by day. I mean, no surprise here. Big spike on the 29th, big spike again on, Cyber Monday. You can see the category spend, which electronics leads the way, followed by apparel, and then furniture and home goods, and grocery. Then you get down to toys, and then cosmetics and sporting goods as well. You see the discounts as well. Electronics discounts are obviously massive. You see the discount trends for electronics, toys, and apparel are massively sinking towards the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, before obviously starting to curve back up because that's what happens. You see the mobile spend. See the buy now, pay later model, AI driven stuff, top trending products. This is where you get to the stuff where you see the toys, Lego sets, Mr. Beast lab toys, Fisher Price Little People, electronics. You're seeing the iPhone 17, Google Pixel 10, Galaxy S25, Ouya, or the Aura Ring. Sorry, I don't know why I went to Ouya. My God, Aura Ring and the Kindle Color Soft. They're completely different products. Then you see video games. So this is where you see Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Bonanza. These are supposedly in no order, like no rhyme or reason. They're not alphabetical. They're not, supposedly ranked by importance of sales. But then again, Switch 2's at the top. So I don't know. Take that for what you will. Guys, it's a very interesting report. I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. I think it's just cool to see how well Switch 2's been doing. And to be fair, we have some actual things to show you on how well it's doing. First off, let's start at the My Nintendo store. So this is literally the My Nintendo store and in the United States. And right now, they're sold out of Pokemon Legends EA, which it does appear they didn't really restock them for this month, so no surprise there. But Mario Kart World Bundle is sold out as well, and it's notable here, there was never a discount on this store. Now, you can use eShop gift cards on the My Nintendo store to buy hardware. That's an update for this year. And yes, at Sam's Club and Costco, eShop gift cards have been 20% off, but those are member-only places, and I don't think that represents the bulk of people buying things directly from Nintendo. That said, it is sold out. This normal system for $450. This one is not sold out yet. But yes, as you saw, the Mario Kart World Bundle is sold out. We know that's been the most popular thing going here. But more than that, we have other retailers having things go on as well. As an example, here we are on Amazon. I'm actually logged into my business account, so if it looks a little different to you guys, I apologize. But you're seeing here that while you can add the Mario Kart World Bundle to your cart, they are not shipping this until December 8th. You are not going to receive this till Monday. It's Wednesday. 2-day shipping. I'm a Prime member. See the Prime thing? Prime member. 2-day shipping, except on this one, because they don't actually have any of the Switch 2 bundles in stock. That's right. After they price match Walmart with that $450 drop, they ran out of systems. They have no more. And it's not just them. Okay, Walmart is very much the same way. You can go ahead and add this to your cart, but it will not ship until next week. So they're sold out as well. Technically, they're just selling future shipments they happen to know are coming. And yeah, even Target is seeing some of the same stuff where, look, shipping arrives on December 8th, except they're also out of the OG bundle as well. Also won't arrive till December 8th. And yes, they have 2- and 3-day shipping plans and weekend shipping plans as well. And they are not going to do that. Also, you can see some things on some of these listings. These are listed as best sellers. So these are among the best sellers that they have. And I believe Walmart even has another thing showing here where you can see even the base model, just the $450 non-bundle, is in low stock. So yeah, Switch 2 has been selling incredibly well. So probably incredibly well last week, especially at the end of the week. And this week with all these places discounting at $50, the bundle especially, yeah, it's selling out. So that's pretty cool. Obviously for Nintendo, it shows that things are going very, very well for them. Next up, I want to talk about this new update to Mario Kart World. It is live right now. They made a bunch of adjustments. And normally this would be where I sit here and go over all of those adjustments. But I think really what people want to focus on is the game better today than it was at launch? And, well, Nintendo decided to address how about all of those intermission routes in online multiplayer that you don't like? What if I were to tell you they have now edited a ton of those routes to actually make them a lot of fun? So as we go here, we're at Nintendo land here, saying, oh my God, Nintendo actually did it. And that is because Nintendo did something that people didn't expect. So they came in with this update, which you can see here, and they basically, edited all of the courses that have anything to do, any connection to Koopa Troopa Beach. So any of the intermissions that have it, so it changes so that all races heading towards Koopa Troopa Beach, including the above courses, you'll cross the finish line after 2 laps once you arrive at Koopa Troopa Beach. But some of these are going from Koopa Troopa Beach to other places, so obviously they're not going to have the 2 laps. Koopa Troopa Beach just happens to be a really small course, so it makes sense. And he goes on to show in here that there's been a lot of changes made. There's been twists and turns added to a lot of these intermission courses. There's been additional content, new routes. They've actually gone ahead and made a bunch of the intermission courses. Not all of them, but in this update, all the ones connected to that one place, they have made all of these intermission courses significantly better with twists and turns and new things going on, new animals, the dolphins coming up way more often. They fixed a lot of stuff. So much so that we could literally spend like 20 minutes just talking about all the changes. Here's even more that they made on one of the other intermission courses. You can see all the twists and turns here on the map here on the right that they added in. You can see that as well here, where it's no longer just these big straight lines. There's a lot of stuff going on, divergent paths, new things being added up here in the sky, getting into helicopters. Like, they have really made these intermission courses much better. They seem to be listening to player feedback. I think that's my biggest takeaway, is very obviously they listen to player feedback. Here's a direct comparison of here's what the intermission course used to be on the left. Here's what it is now on the right. Look how much better that looks. They definitely are listening to player feedback, and they don't want to get rid of intermission courses. They actually just want to make them better. I think this is the right move for Nintendo to do, to not necessarily appease everyone, because you can't appease everyone, but to make strong improvements to the game that everyone will universally say, yeah, even those that liked intermission courses, this is better. While this isn't new content, it kind of feels new because they've refreshed all these intermission courses and made them much better. So yeah, hopefully this is a sign of things to come for the rest of the intermission courses. They've now set the expectation that they realize the intermission courses maybe aren't hitting like they thought they would. Maybe the lines are too straight. They thought there was some fun gameplay there, but I guess players didn't respond that well to it, so they are editing those courses. I mean, look at this. They added those 2 turns, and that makes a huge deal. You'd be surprised how much just a couple turns can make a course significantly more interesting. So yeah, guys, this is nothing but good to me. I'm really glad that Nintendo is listening to player feedback, improving the game. I've said this whole time. Mario Kart World is not a bad game. I don't think it's worth $80 personally, but I also don't think it's a bad game. I think it had a tall task following up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which includes 2 DLC packs, plus the entire multiplayer got changed between the original release on Wii U and Switch. So it's had a lot of content added to that game since launch. Compared to like Wii U's original Mario Kart 8 launch, actually Mario Kart World wasn't that bad content-wise, but again, most people don't remember the original launch because they didn't buy the game till it was the deluxe version on Nintendo Switch. So that being said, it was always having a tall task. I think it's a good game. Overpriced, but still a solid game. Again, an 86 on Metacritic, which to me feels about right. It's a very good game, but it's not peak. It's not peak Mario Kart, but it's very good. And yes, there is a course they now edited and added alternate paths that make it look like a female organ. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. I don't know how they got that through things. We got to talk about Chrono Trigger. Look, a lot of us old school gamers really love the RPGs, the JRPGs, especially Chrono Trigger. And it just feels like they never do anything with this all-time great game. Well, it seems that is changing thanks to a recent interview. So Yuji Horii appears flustered and says he can't talk about Chrono Trigger Remake. So the legendary Yuji Horii may have let the cat out of the bag by revealing that he is seemingly involved in the rumored Chrono Trigger Remake for current generation consoles. Asked about the celebrations happening around the anniversary of the series, he was asked if there was any game developments happening, and his reply appeared visibly flustered and said that it's not something he can actually talk about yet. So here's the quote: "I can't talk about that yet," before immediately becoming flustered, joking, adding comments like, "Wait, if I say that, you'll figure it out. Don't ask. Asking is off limits, and I'll get in trouble." The whole panel then burst out in laughter and moved on with the show. Before the topic was switched, however, Torishima cheekily comments, "There's something," signaling his belief that a potential remake may be on the way. So it's like, I really want to talk about this, but they won't let me. They're putting the shackles on. They've got me going to little old gaming prison over here because I'm not allowed to reveal yet. And, you know, as important as Yuji Horii is, he does have bosses, and he's got to listen to them. Obviously, if this is happening, there's going to be a massive marketing campaign around it, and revealing it before they want it revealed is a big no-no. But I also don't think he's going to lose his job. It kind of reminds me of like when Eiji Aonuma went on stage and was like, "Hey, Skyward Sword HD, huh? By the way, Skyward Sword HD had never been announced or talked about by Nintendo before." He says it out loud. The next day, Nintendo releases a statement denying that they're making Skyward Sword HD. Fast forward a couple of years, here's Skyward Sword HD. So Whether it was actually in development or he willed it into development, I don't know. Maybe Yuji Horii here is trying to will it into development. Beats the hell out of me. But yeah, it seems like something's happening with Chrono Trigger. Hopefully they do right by it. I think an HD 2D style for this game would do wonders. If they want to go beyond that and try to bring it up into a 3D realm, I'm not opposed to that, but you got to be really careful because you could really upset some of the classic players. I think HD 2D is a safer route, but I also feel, hey, if you feel inspired and you want to make this into a 3D RPG, I mean, go for it. I just wish you luck. There's been a lot of failed attempts at this in the past. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. I love talking about video game news. Can you guys believe, like, this is what I get to do every day, is chat with you guys. We have the podcast tonight, the Nintendo by Podcast. Tune in. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty fiery episode. We're going to be talking about those Metroid Prime reviews and our general thoughts on reviews in general. And hey, we have 2 people on our channel that actually do game reviews on our channel, on our podcast, 2 hosts that actually do game reviews. So very interesting to get their takes on all of this. Super Metal Dave 64 is going to be there as well. So that's a lot of fun. You know, he loves talking about Metroid. And more than that, we have other stuff we got to get into. How about the fact that this price drop happened? Is it temporary? Is it permanent? What does it mean? Does it say anything? And so much more. We have a lot of great things to talk about tonight. I hope you guys decided to tune in at 8 p.m. Central. I'll put a link as well to that podcast episode down below because it's already set up and ready to go. You just have to go set your notifications to watch it live. All right, guys, that's it. I'll catch you in the next video.